Thank you so much, and thank you for sticking around and sticking through it. This has been an inspiring evening. I wasn't sure I was going to make it because I actually had to, for my job for Google, run a benefit event to raise money for a refuge, a wildlife refuge in rural South Carolina. And the airlines came together, and I was able to be here. And I have to tell you that there's nothing like having been in the reddest part of the almost reddest state in the nation to be delighted to be here in a labor hall in the Green Mountain state of Vermont. It is beautiful to be back home. And I want to thank Mitzi Johnson, who was going to speak on my behalf. Some have argued I should have let her do it anyway. And also my wife Sarah, who came up to represent the commitment of our family, our entire family, to this cause. Because this is an extraordinary moment in Vermont's history. We are at the cusp of entering a new era. And the fact is that at this time, Vermonters across the state are struggling, and the state is facing the worst fiscal crisis of a generation. And when I've heard from Vermonters from across the state, they have started out, and some of them are legislators, some of them are people who have been laid off, some of the people who have grandchildren who've been laid off, and they've started talking about the crisis and the concerns that they've had. But so quickly it turns into a discussion of solutions. A discussion of those ideas that they have to be able to move our state forward. We created a website, a group of people, some of whom are right here in this room on their own, created a website so that more Vermonters could participate, and we now have hundreds of people participating in that conversation. And what I know from talking to these people and reading their ideas and listening to here tonight, that after 8 years of a governor who has neglected the state and done smoke and mirrors for policy, that Vermonters are ready for change. Not change in 4 years, not change in 10 years, not change in the next cycle, change right now. But in my 11 years in the legislature, in helping build a Vermont software company and heading up the AmeriCorps Vista program, and today leading community affairs for Google, I know that change is not easy. But what I also know is that leading change is not about one person coming up with all the ideas and telling other people what to do. Leading change is bringing extraordinary people together, giving them a goal, putting their ideas on the table, and empowering them to make those ideas a reality. Because right now, at this particular moment, there are all the ideas to be able to move our state forward. And being out of the state a little bit more with this job for Google, you get a new perspective on this extraordinary place. And that perspective has led me to believe that now more than ever, we can create new economy jobs, bring fiber optic high-speed internet to every home, and be able to turn the corner in this economy ahead of the rest of the country. I know that we can become a leader in renewable energy, that we can create green jobs, and that we can be the first state in the nation to be carbon neutral. I know that we can transform our government, not in a way that takes it out on state employees and teachers, but actually empowers them and uses technology to allow them to be more efficient and to move us forward. And I know from the Vermonters I've talked to that we can take on the complex issue of healthcare, self-insure, cover everyone, and reduce the costs that are crushing Vermonters across the state. These are all extraordinary ideas, and none of them are mine. They came from people all across the state. They came from a lot of people right here in this room. And I believe that the only way we are going to turn the corner is for all of us to come together, to bring those ideas to the table, and to move boldly forward to make sure that we move our state into that era. We have an opportunity to write the next chapter of the state of Vermont. And as Matt Brewer, who is here today, who's a senior at Essex High School, wrote so eloquently in an email about 2 weeks ago, the title of that chapter could be The Lost Generation of Vermont. Or the title could be The Innovation Era and how Vermont led a nation. Join with me in this extraordinary cause at this extraordinary time, and we can build the Vermont we all know is possible. Thank you very much.